Hello everyone and welcome inside the Carmelo Anthony Center here on the campus of Syracuse University. I'm Josh Shulman, your CitrusTV volleyball beat reporter, here with outside hitter Skylar George. First of all, Skylar, thank you so much for taking the time. Appreciate it.
Of course, so excited.
So we're here a little bit after the season is concluded, but we're still going to get to the recap of that and how that went for you. Obviously, very successful. But let's go backwards and then we'll end up here. So just first talking about your childhood, and I want to know how you found love with volleyball.
Yeah. So growing up, I actually did competitive cheer like my whole life. Never really expected to do volleyball. I played club soccer, basketball. And then I kind of started volleyball like my 4th grade year, and I never really took it seriously. I always loved it, but I didn't fully take it seriously till like my junior year is when I fully like played club and then really wanted to play at the next level. So yeah, once I got taller from cheer, that's when I was like, all right, can't do this anymore.
And so with that and, being very successful in high school, I was looking, got an MVP award in your district, leading the team in kills both your junior and senior season. How did that kind of increase your confidence from a player who was like, yeah, I'll just play this on the side for fun. This is kind of cool, to like, okay, like I can kind of rock this thing. Like I could do good here.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely didn't come easily for me. Like volleyball wasn't something I was naturally good at. I worked really hard. Starting my junior year, I put in extra work and really kind of earned that. But seeing that definitely in high school gave me more confidence, because in club I didn't have a ton of confidence, but my high school coach really instilled that in me, and like I started to see the numbers and I was like, okay, I can do this. But yeah.
And kind of along those lines, when did you realize, was it that junior season maybe when you led the team, that it was kind of, you had the thought of, I can also do this collegiately at even the next level in D1?
Yeah, junior year was hard because I committed really late. I committed my end of senior year, so I didn't know where I was going, both my junior year season and my senior season. So it was kind of hard, but I think more my senior year is when I was like, all right, like I can do this. Like I know where I'm gonna end up eventually if whatever happens, happens. So.
I'm gonna go back to the beginning of college, but I actually want to ask, just now playing collegiately and playing in your second year doing so, I talked with your teammates when I've interviewed them about NIL and how that's like really shaped this sport, and you have started to join it at that time where it's really gone in a boost over the past couple of years. Mm-hmm. How has it shaped maybe your friends' lives and also your life as well?
Yeah, I mean, NIL is huge now. There's a lot of opportunity out there. Personally for me, I've kind of started to test the waters a little bit. Like the most important thing is just building your brand, like starting to figure out, okay, who do I want to be for NIL, for deals and for businesses to reach out and stuff. But yeah, I've kind of started. I'm definitely no pro at it. I'm still trying to learn stuff myself. But for right now, I'm just kind of trying to post more of just what I want to do, have fun with it. But yeah.
So then now going back to that, I guess, end of senior season, you mentioned you ended up choosing Utah as the place to be. So kind of what went into that decision to first go there?
Yeah, I always knew I wanted to play Power 5. Like my mom always was like, are you sure you don't want to go here? Like just commit already. I had other schools I was talking to and I was like, no, I was really persistent about that. I knew I wanted to play at a big school, and they were very back and forth with me kind of my senior year. But I kept reaching out to them. I was like, I want to come here, because we had a tournament in Utah and I was kind of talking to them then, and I visited the school and I just loved it. So, and then they finally offered me my senior year and I was like, immediately, yes, I'm going to go. So
then that transition, now you play that freshman season at Utah, and then you decide, I'm actually going to go across the country. I'm going to come to Central New York and play at Syracuse. Kind of, what went into that decision? What was the flip?
Yeah, well, when I entered the portal, immediately I was like, I am going back to the South. Take me back to Texas. That was my initial thought. But, I kept an open mind, and I really wanted coaches that believed in me and really wanted me on their team, and I felt that here. So that's really what made my decision here.
And I was going to follow up on that, because I feel like every player I talk to, the reason that they love this team so much, or one of the reasons, is the coaching staff, and especially Coach Bake. Mm-hmm. What does he mean to you? You know, what has he done to help your career so far?
Yeah, I mean, he's done a lot. Like from the first Zoom call when I met him, like he had these goals for me. He told me, he was like, we see you making a huge impact on our program, taking us to big games, the tournament, like hopefully becoming an All-American. He had all these goals that I had for myself that like I didn't know if I could believe in yet, and he saw it in me, and I was like, okay, like someone like at this level can see it in me, like why can't I? Like, you know, because at my time when I was transferring, like my confidence was terrible coming into here from Utah, and just redshirting was hard, but he saw that in me, and he means a lot.
Going to now playing games, because obviously I know that high school is a grind, clubs especially a grind. You know, you're going to tournaments on weekends and you're playing match after match, maybe 3 to 4 matches a day. And then college volleyball is a little bit different because it's kind of a once a week thing, maybe twice a week. But you go from that your true freshman season to not really playing, and then you come to Syracuse and Coach Bake says, we're going to need you. We're going to need you a lot. You started 28 matches this season. So how does it go from playing really not a lot, you know, your true freshman year coming here? How are you able to stay ready and stay fit and active and for this team?
Yeah. It was a big transition. Even like redshirting, I didn't really know I was going to do that at Utah, so that was a transition. So I knew like when I entered the portal, like I wanted to play and I wanted that. And coming here and he was like, we need you, like that's like what I wanted. So I was kind of prepared for that. But I didn't really realize too, like the ACC is like one of the best conferences in the country, and it was hard. Like the scouting got better as we kept playing, and they knew what to expect from me, and there was definitely challenges, but I think my team really trusted me, and like that kept me going. Like honestly, there were games when I was like, I don't know if I can do this, like, but my teammates really had my back, and it made a difference. So
I want to take you back now, if you can put your head in that time machine from a few months ago. It was one of the first tournaments you guys had. It might have been the first one you traveled to New York City. Yes. You guys went down, you played a few games there. You had 10 plus kills in each of those games. You know, if you can go back and remember that tournament, that was the first time that you might have really kind of blossomed as a player on this team. You know, how did that make you feel early in the season to do that?
It was awesome. Like, just, it was so fun, those tournaments, like playing back to back like that, because the last time we did that, like you said, was like in club. So, but I thrive best when we just like play. Like I just love to play, and it was just so fun, and I feel like that was the first time when our team was really like starting to play with each other and like getting to know how we play, and it was also fun because we got to like go see the Statue of Liberty as a team and do all these fun things. So I don't know, it was just a fun time. Like I was playing for them.
And that non-conference play winning streak was something really special. It was something Syracuse fans hadn't seen in a number of years. You know, how did that, not only, you know, being able to see fans watch you guys continue to win, but you as a player, how did that make you feel too?
It was awesome because like when I committed here, that's what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to bring this program up as a team, like, and coming from last season when there weren't really any wins to like even that is just a big step in the way we want to go, and hopefully next year it's going to be, that's the standard, and there's going to be more. So
I wanted to ask you about that. Being with players who were on the team last year, kind of, you know, when you got here and you started practicing over the summer, what was their mentality, and what did they tell you about last year compared to this year? They
honestly said last year's in the past, and that is not going to have an effect on this season. Like and honestly, like they kind of laughed about it because like that's just not who we are. Like we don't base our playing on that. Like there was injuries, there were things that happened, like, so we were completely different teams, and we actually kind of came together as a team, and we're like, we're not going to bring up last year anymore. This is this year. We're a new team. So that's kind of the mentality, but definitely like we played for them too, because like they were all in different positions. Like this year was our first year where Veronica like wasn't an outside, and Greta wasn't an outside, and just all those people. So, you know.
Yeah, and for you and Emma, I know you guys have a special relationship. You know, how does that happen, you know, with you two, and then also some other players who kind of transferred in here? Just, I guess, building that connection relationship as a team.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love Emma. I love all my teammates, but I think we do a good job at hanging out outside of volleyball to build those relationships. So on the court, it's so much better. But yeah, just building those relationships are really important in women's sports. So
moving back to this past season, after that non-conference play, obviously there was a tough stretch. How were you able to kind of keep your heads held high, after those losses may string up a little bit?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it was hard because losing that much is like really challenging, but I think Bake did a good job at being like, we have to move forward. And that's what we did. We really did work hard in practice and we kept going. And eventually it started to pay off. We started to chip away and get those little wins. And when we did lose, we definitely had some hard losses, but the losses really weren't crazy. Like, we were right there with those teams. So that's why I think we're all really excited for this year, because we're going to be a little bit older and I feel like we're going to be able to finish the matches better because we're right there. So.
And then that Virginia Tech match, the one that I'm sure I want to get back to those players who were on that team last year, seeing their reactions. Yeah. After you guys won that final set, what did it mean to them, you being around them and knowing that they went through what they went through last year, how did that mean to them?
I was just so happy for them, and I know they went through a really hard time not winning any games the year before, so it was just so cool to play for them and to see them so happy and excited. It was just awesome.
So now going through your accolades this past season, second on the team in kills, service aces, and digs. How does that make you feel being so successful in your first full year of collegiate volleyball?
It's awesome because I just really didn't think I'd be here, but it's just even better playing for my team and being able to say I did that for them and all we accomplished this year, but definitely have more goals for myself for next season. So yeah.
What would be maybe some of those, not even for next season, but just for the rest of your college career?
Yeah, just kind of staying more level-headed the whole season. I feel like there was times when I was very inconsistent or just up and down, so just really trying to work on consistency throughout the season, and obviously the goal is to win, so make it to the tournament.
Yeah, I was going to say, so transitioning to the team, would that be, that's the big goal for next year, NCAA tournament?
Yes, for sure.
Sounds good. Skylar.